Hello and welcome to the Seed Group Podcast.
Hello.
You know, we were discussing and we thought we'd share with you what you do to prepare before you go into a recording studio for vocal recordings, instrumental recordings, and we want to give you a few tips. So my tip, because I am a vocalist,
I'm sorry.
And I'm a vocalist. One of the things I like to do is to warm up before I enter into the studio. That's very important because you don't want to go in cold. And
How do you warm up, Carla?
I do my scales. Yep. So I do my scales. I don't have scales.
How do you do your scales? You don't have scales.
This is coming from musician people. So they question you now.
So
they question you.
Musical scales, you know.
You see what I have to deal with? And this has been my accompanist for years. You see what I have to deal with?
Yeah.
So anyhow, and generally now I do lukewarm water or a warm lemon tea before I enter the studio, and I'll even do that between takes, be it whatever I'm doing. And I'm sure both of you can agree. And after we do all that, the other main important thing is know your music. If you're a singer, know your lyrics, know the measures, know the bars, know everything so you know what you're doing. And last but not least for me is listen to the producer. Listen to the producer. I've worked with a lot of really wonderful producers when I'm doing, doing backup. They're really good at, if I'm doing lead or if I'm doing backup where I'm kind of one of the main people with that, they will actually ask my opinion on stuff. But whether they do or they don't, listen to your producer. So what do you guys have to say? Oh, I thought you were going to play the tiniest violin for me. So what are your tips? Because this is our guitarist extraordinaire.
Yeah. I've had a lot of fun. Usually what happens is people, the way they do it nowadays, they actually send you a copy of everything you're supposed to be practicing on. Mm-hmm. You go over it, unless you're reading a lot. I used to read a lot. So either way, you still get the music ahead of time, because when you go into the studio, time is money.
That's right.
Literally. If it's $100 an hour, you don't have no time to be saying, "Oh, I made a mistake." Bull.
Yeah, or
you
more.
Better do it right the first time. Mm-hmm. Even if the producer tells you, like you said, "Excuse me, that was nice. We need to do it again." That's because he's trying to get something out of you that you didn't perform. Even though you know it, he's still trying to get that little extra to make it a nice one. What about you, Norman? What do you think about that?
Well, I'm a musician, so.
Piano player, right?
Piano player, right.
I knew that.
Pianist.
I used to play with him all the time.
So I go in there and I play. And then
I love the demo.
Come back and listen to it afterwards, and hopefully I don't hear something that ain't supposed to be there.
Makes sense.
Because then
That's
a lot
good.
of times you have to go back
Yeah.
and start from the beginning and go all the way through, hoping you don't make the mistake. Like I said, my aunt taught me piano. She was a little thing,
hard way.
Oh man.
little thing about that, maybe that tall, you know. And she didn't play around, you know. We were about to do, for lack of a better word, a concert, you know, all for students.
Yeah.
And,
Recital.
there was a duet.
Yeah, that's it.
My cousin and myself. And so we got to a place, you know, playing, and he made a mistake in the part. Says, "No, go back and do it again." So, you know, we went back to the same spot.
You went to the same spot and did it again?
Did it again.
You better.
And she was a little easier to hear. "Go back and do it again." You know, so, and we looked at her face, and I mean, she was like, you know, almost as if you can imagine what Lucifer looked like.
Dang.
That's me.
You know,
I've had some rough people out there.
her eyes
Right.
looked like they were glowing in the dark, and she was. And it's real scary when she starts to talk calm. "Go and do it again."
With the ruler in hand?
No, she didn't do that yet.
Yet. Okay. Yet.
It goes to this thing, because each one, when you notice the difference, you start getting scared. More frightened.
So you make more mistakes.
Yes.
Right.
And so it was a 2-piano thing. So I was on this piano, my cousin was on this piano.
Okay.
And so we went back and did it again, and same spot. He was nervous, I could see his hands shaking. And he made a mistake again. She says, wait a minute. She goes away, comes right back down, sits down. She's got this club, for, I don't even know, you use it like you gnarl something or whatever it is. She sat down with the club like this, and she says, now make a mistake.
Yeah. She was hoping to make a mistake.
Oh, I mean, you knew that was imminent.
Well, she went to all that trouble to get it, yes.
Motivation.
Yeah, well,
it's a win-win for her. Either y'all do it right or she's going to take you out.
So we, now we knew we were doomed. Because, you got to play and you're still looking at that stick while she's sitting there like this. Mm-hmm. Not a smile. Not even one pleasant look. It was just like, okay, I am bound to take a life now. And so we're playing, and we get to the same spot that my cousin was making a mistake. And he was playing and looking, and playing. Got to that spot. Bling! That same mistake.
No, he didn't.
Same mistake.
Oh, poor baby.
She had that thing in her hand. She reached up. Bam!
Whoa.
Fortunately for him, with him in between his shaking and everything, he looked up.
Smart.
And saw it coming down. It was almost like if you saw it in slow motion, it was like, it was saying, oh no.
Oh my God.
Just his hand was right there. It got to that point, moved it, and she slammed it on the piano.
There you go. I applaud him.
Needless to say, we didn't finish that day.
Does he still play now?
No.
I could have guessed, but see, you that's because you didn't get in as much trouble. But yeah, I pretty much figured he stopped.
Yeah. Well, I was so scared. It was like I can't make a mistake, So I was determined. I'm not going to make a mistake. It was almost as if my mind was calculating what I'm supposed to do next, and the fingers went automatically to it.
Right.
So I was more like self-preservation. I'm going to play this right. My cousin, on the other hand, he was like, if I get this wrong, I'm doomed,
Man, never played again.
No, he didn't.
See, I have never had producers or anybody, even when I played piano and recital stuff, I never had that kind of thing. I had encouragement. I had loving encouragement.
No such luck. Everybody I had was like that. The only thing I was going to say about the recording session, don't get upset, don't get too mad if you make a mistake, because when I did the recording session at Bob Murphy's, what he did was he literally said, Albert, okay, we can't seem to get it right. Do me a favor. Let me get this. He went to this spot. He said, I'm going to punch you in, I'm going to punch you out. Just do this. Yeah. He did. Then what made it really interesting, when I got to Bob Savage's to master the CD, literally Bob said, now that's interesting. Albert, that sounds good. The sax player was playing a solo. He said, but it doesn't fit. I said, what do you mean? He said, let me move it. He literally took it from there, put it up to here, took the one up here, put it on the end. It was beautiful. But that's what you can do nowadays. You couldn't do that in the old days. Because when I did the big band, you do it, you take it 2 or 3 times. If you didn't get it right the last time, forget it, because it took an hour. 2 hours. That's it.
Before we wrap up, I just have to concur with him. I actually did a recording where I was one of the leads on there, and they did. I could not sing that again if you paid me.
Right.
They chopped that thing up, moved everything around. I would have to learn the whole song over again to know what was being done. But these are some of the tips that we have. If you have any tips, let us know. Leave a comment down below. Oh, and before we say goodbye, we would be remiss if we didn't say hello to our amazing, wonderful, spectacular producer, Marcus. Hello. So that's all from us from the C Group Podcast. Oh, he's got one more thing to say.
One more thing to say. If you have any other questions, we do not mind airing your questions and telling you how we handled it. So send us a little thing down there like she always talks about.
Exactly.
And then let us know what your question is. We'd be more than happy to explain it for you.
There you go.
That's what we're here for. Right?
That's right. So from all of us to all of you, thank you for joining us for the C Group Podcast. And as always, plant a seed and watch it grow. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Really?